Yo, what's up? This your boy DJ Black. You tuned into the ThePrezEx TV.
Welcome y'all to another episode of the Presidential Executive, y'all. This your boy JB. This is my homie brother over here, El Presidente, Rag, and we got Crown Vic. We got Crown Vic in the building, of course. And go ahead and like this video right now. We're wherever that you stream podcasts. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Stitcher.
Oh yeah,
and
anytime you run through the list is a good day.
You know, I just felt it today, so I was just like, let me just go on, just.
And you did it fluidly though.
You feel me?
Yes.
Yeah. So I did that. So we finally back on our guest episodes. You know, it's been a few weeks. Couple reschedules, had to maneuver. You know what I'm saying? A few people. And
like Bruce Lee said, we had to be water. You know, we had to be flexible. We had to be water.
You got to. So, and we have another special guest in the building.
Yep. Special guest, distinguished guest.
We have a distinguished guest in the building. And Rag, go ahead and do the pleasure.
I mean, for me, man, this is like, I don't know if the word is cathartic. I don't know if like
let me Google that. How
you know what I'm saying?
How you spell it? It's how you spell that?
CATHARTIC. Oh yeah, no, I was spelling bee champ. Don't play with it. Could not participate in spelling bee because of my behavior, as like with a lot of other things.
Cathartic. Okay, wow. I'm looking at the definition.
So,
I didn't know.
But like, so this is like one of my when I say like my OGs, like this is one of my OGs for real. Like I didn't know how to hold when I was performing, didn't know how to hold a microphone. Like showed me how to hold a microphone. Like my stage presence, like did not know how to count bars. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the dude that taught me how to count bars. Like the first cats I got to open up for on stage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like when they was going around the city doing shows, like I got to go with them. Man, the first time I was in the studio was with them. But man, this is an MC extraordinaire. Currently now a DJ. You know, he's had songs on the radio. Like I want to say the first dude from Fayette County to have a song on the major Memphis radio.
Oh,
you know
word.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah, okay. So,
okay,
but,
okay. I'm with
man, MC extraordinaire, man, biblical scholar, like DJ extraordinaire, however you want to go about it, man. Y'all give it up for the one and only DJ Black Coleon.
DJ Black.
Thank you, sir, for the warm introduction. I appreciate that, bro.
It's all true, too.
Yeah.
All facts.
You, like, over the past few weeks, you know, we talked about you slick on the podcast, just here and there, just, you know what I'm saying, tidbits and stuff. And so, you know, he told me some stuff that I ain't know. As far as the writing part about it, I think it was some on Corey's, something like that. Or whatever, like, you know what I mean?
I've done a fair share of ghostwriting. I won't mention everybody, but, you know.
Oh, you won't mention everybody. What you got what's it called? Legally? Not legally.
Not so much
non-disclosure agreement.
Non-disclosure agreement.
Well, it's kind of like sometimes you could be writing for somebody, but you in the studio vibing, so it's not necessarily writing for them. You might just give them a line or two, but there are certain ones that I got you.
I feel you. Okay, I know what you're talking about with that. Well, I've heard about just you in the studio kind of vibing.
No, he's over there like the one where me and you was hyping that album.
I thought you want to hear maybe we're talking about
No, I don't know if he was.
I don't know if he was here that we're talking about that.
Yeah, no, he did. Like I don't know if you remember me telling you, because like when I was learning the song, like I'm rapping and I'm like the cadence, I'm like, nigga, this sound like a And I remember I asked you, like, because one none said, and like I pulled you to the side and I was like, hey man,
Yeah.
I was like,
I put it like this. Some things I probably should have got credit for that I didn't.
Right, and then you was like, and I just,
but that's known right there though. That's known right there though. As far as the John,
no,
it's not. It's not. No, but so like I had called you on 2 of them, and you was like, nah, it was 2 more. It was at least 4 of them.
Yeah,
the John looked like a tie.
Yeah.
It looked like a
that's
tie,
exactly
thing. I forgot what it was called, but it was
right. You know
the album.
Cause me and you was actually hyping together on stage doing one of them. Yeah.
It's like a tie. It's like a tie symbol.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That's you.
He's on there.
No,
yes. Yes.
No.
I didn't know either. I didn't know either.
How you writing in the style of K Rio, bro?
Cause I know him.
Bro, oh my God.
Like, okay, so
that's some Dr. Dre, some Jay-Z stuff that he did to Dr. Dre.
So we did. I
didn't know that either, bro, until a couple weeks ago.
I did a project with a group called the Cartel Boys.
The Cartel, okay.
And
I got
if you go listen to that,
I don't know.
There's an artist named Kurt the Hustler that's involved with that project.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go listen to everything, you will not know, but yeah. I worked in the studio with like Lil White. There's some things that, you know what I'm saying? Like
he just came out with something new, I think.
It's just kind of like if you vibing in the studio and you in there with the music, you know, you might just start spitting. Right. And then somebody might be like, hey.
We'll take a line or two.
I've done that though. I've done that myself. Like DJ Bo, my homie.
Yeah.
It was something he used to spit that he never used it on nothing. And I did a song called Dirty Dirty on my project, Black Rain. And Riding Low, I'm a quiet in the background.
Yeah, he did say
that was Bo. Yeah, I said, Bo, look, if you're never gonna use that, like I'm gonna make the rest of the song, but I need that line. Like
because he never, I remember that. He never
Bo never used it. Like he would spit it, and I'd be like, nigga, but about it though. And
like that was.
Then I hit like hit the switch when I ride the flow. Who you know in this out running out with the grinding flow? I shine like a diamond. So it's like I went on with it, but that one line, I was like, bro, I need that. Like, yeah.
Oh, now Bo was good for that though.
Bo was hard.
Bo would have a line or something like.
Bo should have put a project out for real.
Our Bo project was like a DJ Khaled project. Yeah. It was like us.
Yeah, it was.
Nah, bro, I definitely didn't know to that extent like that. Yeah, on that whole, on that jump, like I knew, I knew your musical abilities. I knew.
No, I'm telling you, like when I heard, because I was hyping, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a good hype man is not about you. It's about making sure that the other person shines. So like, but if he's jumping around and he's out of breath, I got to be so in tune with him to where when he comes off a line, I immediately come back and then he come back and then I'm back in the background. So I want to be if you're going to have me up there hyping for you, you'll never look at me and I'm like, I don't know the verse. So I'm learning the song and I'm listening. And as I'm listening to it, now
he said, man, this boy spitting.
I've been in the studio, keep in mind, like freestyling, all of that. Like you could, if we was freestyling, you couldn't be in the room with us if you wasn't finna rap.
Right.
So like, if you were afraid, you go sit outside the door. You know what I'm saying? So like, so I know how he raps. I know his flow and his cadence and his style, and that's like the way and I'm like, that's like
See, I had like I had certain influences. So like Big Pun was one of my influences. So like how he would just do and I
did in the middle of Little Italy,
like the DOC, like anybody that could like, because I didn't like filler. Like I didn't like. I wanted everything I spit to be like chopping. So
okay. This is a lot right here, man. We're gonna have to pause for a second.
He said we only got so much time.
No, we gonna flip back a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna come right back if we can to where we just stopped at.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the beginning of just DJ Black period. Growing up, where you're from, all that good stuff.
I'm a native. I was born in Nashville.
Okay.
Moved down with my mom to Oakland, Tennessee, which is like right outside of Memphis. And where I got to meet a lot of the people that I know. My Aunt Jeanette started going to Breath of Life Christian Center and invited my mom, and the rest is history. So that's how I got to know like a lot of the people in Memphis that I knew, and then I moved to Memphis when I turned 18. But yeah, man, raised in the country. I'm a country boy. Fayette County. Shout out to Fayette County. What's happening, man? OPN. What's happening?
Fayette County.
Yeah.
Fayette County. So how old are you, Black?
44.
44.
So
you got That's about
edit
right.
that, Vic. I need you to edit that out. No, just playing.
Because you got 3 or 4. You knew you had about 3 or 4 years on me.
Yeah.
So we started with that. So what about music that kind of intrigued you? Like how did you get intrigued with music, rap, or whatever?
So I used to go and stay with my dad every summer. So I would leave Oakland and go to Nashville every summer. And shout out to they call him Chef J. Will. He's y'all heard of the pizza place Slim and Huskies?
Yeah.
So
it's my TSU brother, alumni.
Well, Chef J. Will went to school with them guys, and he's the one that came up with the recipes and everything.
Went to high school with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So
it's intriguing.
I know, right?
So Chef J. Will is my first cousin. So
this is your first cousin.
That's my first cousin.
Okay.
So
see,
all of the pizza places, he goes and trains the entire staff. Like, I think he got he might not want me to say it, but he probably got a percentage of the company. Right. He's probably you know what I'm saying? Sure. So, but he would introduce me to music every summer. So, Tupac come out, New Jack City soundtrack, NWA, Ice Cube. So I would bring all these tapes back home. And it's kind of like how, I guess back then, that's how I was DJing. I used to have a radio and take it to school. And we had like these little sock hops at school or whatever. And I have a boombox in the gym bag, and I'm playing DOC and NWA, and this is like elementary school.
Yeah, I was about to say, how old were you at this point?
Early.
Like,
this is.
So you talking about 8, 9, 10
Yeah, 8,
years
9,
old.
10. I got a boombox and a bunch of tapes.
Right. So you coming back down south, bumping
used to
DOC.
Used to get in trouble. I used to take the Breath of Life tapes. Pastor Holloway, shout out to Pastor Holloway.
Right.
I used to take your tapes, and I used to put the little tape over the top of it and record Spanish Fly and Stan Bill off the radio.
Right.
Yeah. So it's
man,
like
some peace, Stan Bill too.
Yeah, peace to Stan Bill, man. So yeah, music has always been a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, loved it.
I said you didn't know Stan Bill had passed.
No,
passed, nigga. What is you talking about?
What you talking
Stan
about?
Bill.
This nigga still alive. What is you talking about?
Just at the pocket.
Are you serious?
Last weekend.
Stan Bill is alive and well. What are you talking about?
And on the mic.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That Martell hitting you hard.
No, it's not.
He was on the radio like Friday.
Yeah. He DJ for the Capitals all the time. You're new.
You must think
I
about
don't
somebody
know.
else.
It must be somebody else. But it was like a Memphis DJ.
I
thought it was who?
DJ Kylan, he passed.
Nah, so that's my bad. I apologize. But no, like no, I'm serious. Like I had saw something. It's not. No, I'm serious.
I'm like, you told me something I ain't know. I'm looking at Stan Bill now. I'm like,
that I saw something.
I thought you knew somebody. I'm like,
yeah, like when I saw it, I'm thinking because like I actually had won a couple of roll calls. That's why I was like, that really messed with me when I saw that. But I must have been thinking about him, but it was somebody else. But no, that's when you said that it made me. Yeah, but no, okay, so it must have been.
I think Stan is still alive,
good and well.
Yeah,
we gonna give him a shout out.
My mistake. Yeah. Forgive me, Stan Bill. I'm not.
Where's it be?
I love Stan Bill.
I thought you said. I said no. He didn't say that. Though.
Like that was. Come on.
Yeah, because I thought and then I was like, that's why I was like, piece of Stan Bill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was like,
took him out. Hey, players mess up.
y'all didn't say because I maybe he did that.
Man, I know. I was like. I'm like,
again, my bad.
Damn. So you pretty much in the South. but it sounded like you had a lot of other influences,
Yeah.
not just like from Memphis. I think we said on here on the show before, like I knew about NWA and other people like that, but my first real introduction was like Mystic Styles.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
Yeah.
like here. And
Yeah.
then later on, my palette got a little bit more with like hanging out with these guys, with him and Keenan and stuff. He was a Nas fan, and he Royce the 5'9" and stuff. And so,
yeah,
but
that's what I liked about our particular clique as far as the people that went to Breath of Life as far as team ministry. Like, we were on something else. We really didn't. I ain't saying we ain't vibe with Memphis music like that, but we had so many other influences.
We love Memphis music, but it was other stuff besides. Because Fonz got me on Outkast.
I was a huge Outkast fan. Like, huge Outkast fan. I was bumping Outkast on the way over here, actually.
Outkast.
Yeah. So, like, man, let's go back, though, because you talked about going to Nashville to see your pop. So, like, we talk about it, you know, on here a lot, but like, of course, he grew up, you know, both his parents in the house, you know my folks. Yeah. We grew up like that. So, like, what was that
Your
like?
Your dad had the greatest voice ever.
He did, bro.
We say that all the time.
I thought about, actually, I didn't know how I would approach him, but I wanted him to do like an intro or something like that to a project.
Did it.
I just didn't. I was like, man, I was almost afraid because he had like this huge voice, right? So I would be like, man, how am I gonna go talk to him about?
Because he did a couple of our projects with. I would listen to.
Did he?
With Bentley and a couple of the mixtapes we had. You should have did it.
I loved his voice, man.
Yeah. Like, go voice for sure.
For sure.
I mean, like, I feel like had he gotten in Hollywood, like, he could give Morgan Freeman a run for his money as, like, the voice of God.
Yeah. Easily.
Like, that, like, anybody, and this ain't cap, if y'all go pull up, do you have his stuff available on YouTube?
It's
like
on,
where he did the
it's on Spotify.
It's on go listen to his pop's
it's
voice.
The Proverbs
Put
CD.
a link up for it, so they can see that. So because they'll probably think we just trying to big up your pops and everything like that when they hear him. But
I put that out there for sure.
What was it like, kind of growing up? And then you're the oldest.
Yeah, I'm
right?
the oldest of three.
So what was it like growing up? I guess. Nowadays, it's, I guess, more traditional, but back then when we was growing up, it wasn't really traditional to be in a household, you know, more or less a single-parent household.
Well, I actually wasn't single parent. I had my stepfather there. So, it was, I guess it was a difference between, like, having a father in the home that wasn't necessarily,
I get you.
You know what I mean? So, my mom was my rock. You know what I'm saying? So my mom, as far as me and my brothers, she made sure we were in church. You know, she didn't let us fall by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? So
she let you go too far.
Yeah. Even though we wild out, you know what I'm saying? We did our thing. But she was, you know what I'm saying, like, always there to make sure we were, you know, definitely in church. And not just in church, like, she was there as an example. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, mom wasn't this way at church and this way at home. Like, if you know Tina, Tina the same way everywhere she goes. She don't. It is not a change. It's not a difference. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to mom, man. She really held it down for us. You know what I'm saying? Gave us a real good example to look at. Yeah.
Wow.
So also, I don't know if you knew this, but even before you got serious in the music thing, you were actually a very accomplished and distinguished football player.
I did my thing. Fairwear High School.
Y'all cold back then, though. Like back in the
we was
back in like the late 90s.
Yeah, we was.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
we was competing for state championships.
Yeah.
And
what position you play?
I played O-line, left guard. Played a little defense, some middle linebacker here and there. Okay. Kickoff receiving, kickoff team, like it was all world, you know.
Right.
Yeah, man. And didn't you have a scholarship offer somewhere?
I had several scholarship offers. At the time, like me being so heavily involved in church and team ministry and stuff like that, I decided to go to Crichton College. So I pursued biblical studies as a major.
Right.
And Crichton didn't have no football team.
No.
So
right. Okay. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know you was into football.
Yeah, because I want to say, didn't U of M offer you a scholarship?
Yeah, U of M offered me a scholarship. It's Pine Bluff. It was a lot of different schools that, because I did well on my ACT, passed that and stuff like that. So I had some offers or whatever. Because of my relationship with Pastor Edward and Heather Slaughter.
I wish y'all could see Vic's face right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to say that because I feel like where you could have been.
Well, your life does.
Right. I got it.
Like, oh no.
But God,
I ain't gonna say thinking back on it. It's like sometimes we have certain people that are mentors to us, and I feel like if you can't see it, you can't be it.
Message.
So, who I saw and who I wanted to emulate, who I wanted to be like, was my youth pastor. I loved Pastor Edward Slaughter. Like, shout out to him. Like, he was a real influence on a lot of youth in Memphis.
Right. That's dope, bro. Yeah.
So, he would challenge me. Like, like, what you gonna choose? So, looking back on it, I don't know if I would have made the same decisions.
Right.
But he definitely was a great mentor to me.
Right.
So, I don't regret the decision. I still got friends. I ain't gonna lie. I got friends now that be like, bro, because I didn't play, like, we had a championship game that we were playing my senior year that I didn't play.
Okay.
Because I went to
it was a camp, wasn't it?
It was like a ministry retreat thing with Pastor Slaughter.
See, but honestly, when I hear stuff like that, bro, like, I don't know for sure, but I think your heart everything was in the right place. This was crazy. Like, I got calls from my principal. My principal from my high school called me and was like, "Are you sure that that's what you want to do?" Oh, word.
Yeah, like I was dead in football.
Right.
So it was just like, I don't think, looking back on it, I don't necessarily think you should put that type of pressure on a kid.
Right.
But again, at the time, that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? So, you can't have regrets. You just have to keep doing what you're doing.
Because that was your flow and everything at that moment. Yeah. So you couldn't tell, at that point, your age at that point, you couldn't tell what you felt and what you was going through at that time. Right. Like, nobody was going to probably convince you otherwise that you probably shouldn't be where you was at instead of at that football game. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want you to see this real quick.
You have
so I was not making that up. Like, I did see that, but like, I didn't know. I just saw.
Who's that?
It's not him, obviously.
I was like, man.
Like I had actually saw that.
Yeah.
So like I didn't research it, like, because I had just went and kind of withdrew because I was just I had a whole reflection moment. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When I saw the name and I was like,
so that's what you saw that made you
right. And like I said, and this was a while ago. Yeah. So I had never even said anything else about it. So when it came up, I was just like, oh, and it was like, and I was like, yeah, that been happening. And I'm like,
no.
So clearly I was wrong.
No,
I'm not even gonna show you the picture though.
That just say 2015, dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm not even gonna show you the picture though. I said it was a while ago.
I'm gonna need you to edit all this out.
Look, but check this out. I'm not gonna show you the picture though.
A dude named Stan Bell passed in 2015.
No, I saw
it's 2023.
I know that. I said it happened a long time ago. I didn't. Yes, I didn't. But like I said, I didn't.
Radio?
No, I don't. You know when I don't listen to the radio.
He's listening to YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I either have YouTube on or I got my playlist going. I don't be listening because they play the same stuff over and over and over again. So it's just like, you know.
Yeah.
So now you got to apologize.
Again, I apologize to the family of Stan Bell that we were not from Henderson, Tennessee. We were not slandering your family member. We thought it was the other Stan Bell, the native Memphis Stan Bell.
Yeah.
That's wild.
World famous Nuke.
See, I know for sure because I found out about a year or two ago that he's in the family.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tell y'all that off camera though.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you that off camera.
Right. And this is actually the picture of the guy I was talking about. I had no idea.
Let me see.
I don't want to show you.
the picture.
Let him see.
That is clearly not.
That is Stanley Bill.
That boy look like
that
Jeffrey
is clearly
Dahmer.
not.
Like Jeffrey Dahmer.
That is clearly not the guy we're talking about.
Stanley.
But no, like I can't remember what I was looking up one time, but it had his Stan Bill obituary.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I didn't even click to see. Like I just saw Stan Bill obituary, and then you know how like when you look up something, they have like all the pictures up, and all the images was him.
Yeah.
So it was just like, dang, like so I had a whole reflection moment.
I had to holler at my homeboy Trey.
Wow.
He got it's like a selfie studio in Oakland. That's where we got our podcast studio at. And so he has this like reflection wall of all the music artists that are passed or whatever. And top right corner, he got Al Green up there. And I'm like, bro, Al ain't going nowhere. What are you doing? So yeah, mistakes happen, man.
Right, yeah, and that's what I said. I should have clicked. That's my bad. I should have clicked.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember the fact check.
Man, like I said, players.
That's wild, bro. That's wild. So, okay, you mentioned your podcast, man. Is it the Three the Hard Way?
Three the Hard Way podcast, man. Me, my homeboy G Wiz, my brother OG Bobby P. Three the Hard Way podcast, also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify
everything else.
And all your media platforms. You know
For sure.
So, man, let's get back to this. So obviously you didn't pursue football because at that point you were heavily into going to be a biblical studies major as well as doing your music.
Right.
And so we talked about this when we had Fro on, and Pastor Floyd called Fro said basically like he's like the godfather of
What is my
gospel rap.
Yeah.
And of course, there was some people who got offended by that.
Yeah.
But
Peace to Fro.
Yeah. And so like in his defense, like it's only a few people that have been consistent, with it.
Proof is in the pudding, bro.
And so when you look at it, like I can say it's 2023. I know back as far back as like maybe 2008, 2007. He was getting started then. So when you look at it, I didn't have a problem with it being said because a lot of people was getting mad. It's like, you got a CD you burnt in your garage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you're mad at this guy who legit.
He put in work, dog.
That's what I'm saying. Like you catch him in Walmart parking lot, in Kroger parking lot, driving around with his car wrapped and stuff like that. Yeah. And so, but one of the things he talked about is that he said, and he mentioned shout out to K Rio, but he mentioned that like he was one of the first people, and so I had to like say, whoa, hold up there now, and there's no disrespect because he's one of my mentors too, but like it wasn't just him. Yeah, it was like when it started moving. Yeah, and I remember the tapes.
He mentioned K Rio.
Yeah, and I was saying it wasn't just K Rio; it was also, Black Coleon, aka,
You mentioned Kurt. Did you mention Kurt?
No, it was DJ Bo. DJ Bo, and then I also mentioned our guys from Halo. Yeah. Mercy and TJ. TJ and Jay from
shout out to Big J.
Right. And they went to was it World Overcomers?
World Overcomers, yeah.
Right. And so but it was y'all, and I remember them tapes. Yeah. I remember you don't see what I see. Yeah. And
incredible. INCR.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Jesus is incredible. Yeah, we did that.
With Toya singing the hook.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, like shout out to everybody that's doing it. But I think
first generation.
I think we were the first we were part of the first generation. Like,
was your name different?
Yeah, my name at the time, my middle name is Jay, so I was going by the Jayster. That was my little thing back then. I don't know what I was on, but
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, what was it, Mr. C and the Jayster?
Mr. C and the Jayster, man. We was one accord. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were.
And that was That was who? Who was one accord?
That was me and Corey.
That's you two, and that's it.
Yeah, this us two.
And DJ Bo was
he
doing all your production?
Yeah, DJ Bo was doing our production. Actually, our first song, I want to say, Andrew did our first song. Shout out to Andrew Jackson. Yeah, father of Jackson Ave. He did our first beat. Got us our first studio session. I know, wow, it's crazy. Got us our first studio session. he knows so many people in the industry.
Yeah,
Like I had no idea that he was connected the way that he was.
Yeah, no, that man's uber connected.
But
Man.
yeah, like dude is like
he really is. I've noticed that over the years when I've seen them out there in California kicking it with Israel Horton.
Yeah.
What's his name?
But dude be in the studio with like Common. Like dude be with like
yeah, no, I didn't know he knew Crunchy Black.
Yeah, like
he had a whole Crunchy Black story.
Yeah, like
well, you know they live in South Memphis though, so
yeah,
you know,
like Andrew knew he knew a lot of people. So like our first recording session,
wow,
he got us our first session. But DJ Bo, he did all of our production. I want to say
the day before Funky.
Day before Funky. That was woo. We had some
Corey
titles.
never wanted to do that song,
and that was the one, huh?
That was the nigga. He never wanted to do like that was the song.
Wow. Yeah.
So Fro, if you looking at this
and lay it down, Joint.
You need to holler at
with the
DJ
from
Black.
Alabama on it.
Yeah.
You need to holler at
with
DJ
Wiz
Black
and Age and all them on it.
Yeah.
Lay it down like that. Hey.
Because Fro talking about doing like a documentary on Memphis Christian rap from the beginning all the way up, and so I was like, Fro, you definitely need to holler at obviously Rag right here, aka Lex. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you going back to the Alpha Lex days.
Yeah, and then definitely
Genesis,
with
Genesis.
Black.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I told him he need to do that because that to me that'll be dope. Because like I thought what y'all was doing back in the time, like because I really wasn't in the church at Breath of Life at the time doing y'all team ministry years because my dad, we had to have our own church.
Okay.
Living faith back in most of my teenage years.
Okay.
And but just listening to him, listening to Keenan, the stuff, the Soul Factory was, you know what I'm saying? And those times of stuff that y'all had, it's like
we had some amazing times.
Right,
I've heard. It was really a lot of. It was a lot that went on, and a lot of people were, I feel like were helped spiritually during that whole time, and it ended up launching me into a couple different things myself. My church had brought this group called the Gospel Gangsters to Memphis.
Yeah,
and
I know who they are.
Grammy winning artists.
We opened up for them, me and Corey, and I'll tell y'all what they said. They was like, "Hey, your boy cool, but we want you to come to LA." I was like, "Ooh." So I ended up joining their label, Camp 8. And I used to
Gospel Gangsters.
Yeah, Gospel Gangsters, yeah.
Grammy nominated.
Yeah.
Gospel Gangsters.
Okay.
Good friends of mine, R.I.P. Solo.
What was this?
Now,
what year is this?
Won a Grammy, didn't they win a Grammy? Or was it just nominated?
I think nominated.
Okay.
They won several Dove Awards.
Okay. Always Google.
But yeah, they.
I know they were I know for a fact they were nominated, but I couldn't remember if they won or not.
So, bro, like I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, I've been knowing you for years, but the detailed information that I've been this not even here, but just over the past few weeks, like personally, I didn't know, but the same thing I asked some years, I was like, bro, I thought what y'all were doing, especially what y'all were doing, was ahead of your time.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I thought that, and I was like, bro, what happened? Because y'all were different, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even when you're hearing folks now, they be talking about the devil, shooting demons, doing stuff like that. And at that time, it was like, well, you can't be doing that, can't be shooting demons, stuff like that. But I was like, your heart was in the right place, bro. But I was like, at the time, it was probably real difficult to maybe sustain what y'all were doing. But I want to hear it from y'all.
The crazy part about it was, and again, no slight to any of our churches or anything like that, but they didn't know what to do with us. We were so.
That's a respectful slight, though. I think it's a good slight.
Yeah, like we were so ahead of the time. Like we would have meetings sometimes with our pastors, And this is different churches, different groups, respectfully, right?
Oh, he laughing over here.
And they wouldn't know what to do with us. At the time, I feel like maybe if they had put some type of efforts behind us.
And this is like late 90s, right?
Yeah, this is like
late 90s, early 2000s, late 90s.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, by the time this happened, though, and not to cut it off, but like y'all had been doing it, like they had been laying the groundwork for like
him and Corey.
Yeah, him and Corey. But then
we were on like this wasn't like just a church. We was on the news.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this was different,
right?
Like,
and then it was also them and Halo.
Yeah,
they were the ones, and so that's how I got to know Halo, because every time they were somewhere, like they would be where they was, or they would be where they were, and so like I want to say by 2000 it had been at least 6 years.
Yeah. Because I graduated in 96.
Right. So, and they were doing it, because y'all opened up for Stephen Wiley.
Yeah. Yeah. Who the real godfather of gospel.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But anybody who was popping,
Bible break,
anybody who was popping in that space from other areas, because like I don't even know what happened to half of these groups. But when they came to Breath of Life, like the Disciples of Christ came, like y'all got to open up for them.
Yeah.
Y'all got to open up for
out of Price,
7-9, like y'all, I mean, like anybody who was anybody. I want to say even I don't think DC Talk came, but if DC Talk came, they got to open up for them too. You know what I'm saying? So like by 2000, they had been in the game.
Yeah,
and then with us, we was like maybe 2-3 years us in War Clique, because we were right behind them.
Right. And so like when I hear the churches say we can't get our youth, we can't. We don't know how to reach them. Well, I feel like, again, no slight to them, but I feel like a generation got slipped. I feel like if you had empowered a generation prior to this generation that's out here now, you would know how to reach them because you already had your hand out to them.
Right.
But because the church felt like it was, we don't know what to do with that. We kind of scared of that.
For sure.
Because,
Because all they heard before was just the gangster rap and
the
the aggression that goes with it. And so, but how can you have this aggression in rap but then put Jesus on it? How could that don't really mix? So how does that look like? So I feel you.
Now they want to try to do it now, but what these kids listening to now is way different than what we was doing. Mm-hmm. So a generation got slipped, and now it's like, well, how do we reach the kids? It's definitely gonna take more research. You know what I'm saying?
A lot more resources. You got to put a lot more money behind it. You can't be afraid. And I think another thing too is a lot of churches are afraid of like. And I give you this example. Like, let's say I'm a CEO of a company, right? You work for me. That's your homeboy. Now, Vic got you on, right? But you don't want to get him on because you feel like if I get him on, what if he mess up?
Yeah.
So I don't want to mess up. Now, if you're a good enough employee, it ain't gonna matter what he do. You know what I'm saying? You can shoot out as many references as you want, right? But churches had that mentality of like, okay, well, if we invest money in Black, what if he don't? What if he don't work out? Yeah. Well, then now he didn't embarrass the church. Okay, and what?
Yeah.
So I think that one fit. You see what I'm saying?
The church was like so reserved. Yeah. Like, once we get past this point in my life, we'll explore me actually putting out secular projects, and opening up for 50 Cent on tour, bringing Yo Gotti to my high school,
But let me say that,
and my point for that was saying, I saw how much the world spent to attract youth. I one of my best friends is he works for Rock Nation right now. Lester Pace. Salute to that. That's my guy. I saw how much these major corporations, Sony and Universal and Bad Boy, I saw receipts. I saw how much money they were putting behind radio and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it takes a lot more, and major
it wouldn't
corporations
even took that much money to just, you know what I'm saying? Just give us a little something so we can stay in the studio and have a current project out. And so when we go somewhere, if the place ain't got nowhere for us to, you know, they can't afford to pay for us to travel.
Right.
Y'all got us.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's still getting the message because they're gonna ask, where do y'all go to church? Like, so one hand wash the other, both wash the face. But it was like, but if you mess up, that's you go to our church and that's gonna make us look bad. But like y'all got, you know what I'm saying, deacons at the shake joint, like they'll make y'all look bad. I'm just saying. They were sitting next to me.
Vic, I need you to cut all this.
They were sitting next to me. Yeah. I'll give you names off camera. They were sitting next to me.
Right.
So, I mean, you don't be concerned about people that you got at your church that are in other auxiliaries that make your church look bad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This particular church member that's, you know, on their 4th or 5th marriage that's got 8 or 9 different baby mamas, you don't care about that person. But the guy that's doing the rap, you know what I'm saying? Like, God forbid y'all see me at a school dance or something, might have made the church look bad. Message. You know what I'm saying? Or I get pulled over by the police. Regardless of what I get pulled over, I'd have made the church look bad. And that was kind of like the thing. So when you're feeling that, going to his point, it makes it a lot easier because I feel this same stuff. Like, and we know a lot of these cats. We're in the studio with a lot of these cats, and they like, man, you know what? If you wasn't doing that Christian shit, you'd be hard, nigga.
Yeah.
Like,
and I had to prove that point to myself. Like, that's why I put out projects. Because I wanted to be like, I wanted to see, like, okay, are these skills just good because I'm doing gospel rap? Or are these real skills? And, you know, a lot of my family was street cat. Like, I ended up doing a whole lot, you know what I'm saying, in the streets or whatever. So it was like, it was a choice to do that. Yeah. But then it was a choice to, like, I also knew what else was going on. So, you know, it was just a lot of times to just kind of see what was going on.
Now, if you, let's say if, you know, if the church whatever put more into what y'all were doing, do you think you still would have tried on the secular realm? Potentially, just looking back. I know it may be tough to
I just kind of like what I talked about with mentors. Like if somebody's, you know, it's discipleship. If somebody's mentoring you, it kind of makes you want to be like them. Kind of makes you want to hold on to those same principles that they're mentoring you or discipling you in. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. You know, because there's a lot of people that came out of the church doing, you know, secular music or whatever. But,
right. But just for me, the outside looking in, and I've had talks with Rag with this like off camera or just over the years, just, you know, like, because if you feel a certain way, like, I don't want to say shun, but just, you know, the church we grew up in is, you know, I believe was definitely anointed, and had everything attached to it. But when it came to that part of it, it was kind of, like you said, if you look at the time, look at the culture, look at the church culture at the time, it was like you literally didn't know because you had no blueprint to look at, oh, well, so-and-so did this, so I know how to maybe deal with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to their credit, they were like, you know, I don't know, you know what I mean? But it's like,
I appreciate that they allowed it because
they gave us an outlet.
Yeah, they did give us an outlet.
Right. That's, no doubt.
But it was just like,
once you turn 18, like, you ain't cute no more, nigga.
Yeah.
When you gonna do something for real with your life?
Yeah.
That's the perception you got?
Well, I put it like this, and I can't speak for him, but I feel like for me, had that support been there, and shout out to our guy MKJ, salute, I would have been doing that. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
No doubt. I wouldn't have had to go nowhere else because it's like what I really believe, but then I got the battery in my back too. Yeah. But the only thing that's worse than depression is discouragement.
Yeah.
A lot of people depression ain't the word. You can get over depression, but when you're discouraged, when you feel like, what's the point?
Right. Yeah.
See, because a lot of times depression can be just about one thing. But when you're looking at a whole vacuum of like, I really believe, y'all taught me to believe this.
Yeah.
Right? But then now that I believe it and I feel like I got my purpose, but that ain't good enough. You need more than what you told me I need. And you told me everything I need to do. So I do everything you say I need to do, step by step, letter by letter, line by line, dot every I, cross every T. But then you say that ain't good enough.
It's just not in the suit that they recognize.
Right. And you can, again, no slight to them, because you can only facilitate what you know how to facilitate.
Exactly.
Like if I'm not a musician, then I don't know how to facilitate a musician. I'm only gonna recognize a certain thing. If I'm a speaker and you're a musician, I don't know what to do with you. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was more of that versus we don't like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think it was just more of they didn't really know what to do with us, because it was so cutting edge. It was so new.
Right.
And like everybody knows what hip hop is now.
Right. Yeah.
So everybody wants to.
Right. They want to be on the bandwagon.
Bring a rapper for the children. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Everybody wants.
But at the time it was scary.
Him and Corey had to walk, so we could run.
Yeah.
So people like MK could fly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so in the grand scheme of things, if he had to go through what he had to go through so that I could experience everything that I experienced with, even with Crown and them with me, so somebody like MK could take it and who knows what's behind him.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like, if that was what was necessary for the ultimate big picture to happen, then so be it.
Right. And the way I took it, because like if you go listen to my first project, Black Rain had no cursing on it. So
even Shake It.
Yeah,
Shake It song, right?
Like
that was a song that was on the radio, by the way.
Yeah. What I learned from the Gospel Gangsters, and I took that into that first project, I asked them, like, what would you have done different? And they said we would have never called ourselves the Gospel Gangsters. Because they were so hard. Like,
they were
lyrically, like them guys, I put them guys against anybody that I like solo. That was my, like,
shots ring like thunder. How do I keep from going under?
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder, like,
will I ever amount to anything good? I'm in a zoo called America, trapped in this cage called the hood, where they got me acting like a
like Solo. Solo was like so dope, bro.
And real is
and his advice was, we would have never called ourselves the Gospel Gangsters.
They say that
because it limited them in ministry. Like, they did some of the best music that I personally have ever heard. But because they labeled themselves that it was only so many places that they could go and be taken serious, for real, serious. You know what I'm saying? So
and they probably had more street cred than a lot of
like
people
real,
who came out like
real Christian Bloods. Like,
like
I was with these guys, like in their neighborhoods, like definitely saved brothers, right? But like real Crips, real Bloods, like TikTok. You know, he doing his time in jail right now. But TikTok took me to the Jordan Down Project. He took me to the jungle. And was like, what up, blood? And people coming up to him, oh, what's up, blood? Like, he was really, like, these was real gangsters, like LA street gangsters. Still accepted in their neighborhoods. So, again, I took that and I made Black Rain.
Is that available anywhere?
Yeah, that's on YouTube right now. That's
YouTube, okay.
I probably need to sue somebody, but yeah, it's out on platforms.
Your whole project.
It's out there
since 1978.
Wow. I've been a hustler, gutter where people struggle. Yes. But
hustle you out your.
So when I did this project, and I was signed to a label called 34 Ways.
Mike
McKenzie used to play for Green Bay and the Saints. I take this positive project that's not labeled gospel rap, Christian rap project, and I'm on the road opening up for 50 Cent and Jaheim and Ludacris and the Clips, and like I'm backstage with these guys and I'm kicking it with these guys, and they like, dog, you dope. At no point did they be like, you dope for a gospel rapper or a Christian rapper. Like, because that was never the label.
Right.
I had a song on the radio called Shake It. Didn't have no cursing on it, but it was about shaking it, right?
Right.
But the way I felt about it was sometimes you have to make some art for the people so that they can respect your art. So, if I wanted to introduce a gourmet cheeseburger restaurant to the masses, I better make a cheeseburger that's kind of like McDonald's. I probably need to make one kind of like Burger King, because if I come with this super phenomenal burger, they're going to be like, I don't know about that, because I'm used to eating McDonald's. I'm used to eating Burger King. I'm used to eating. But if I make something like that and I give you that, you might be interested in what else I'm serving. So I kind of took that. That was my premise in making that project. Shout out to 220, producer for the project. You know what I'm saying? Terry Poindexter.
That guy Frankie Landon. He do. No disrespect. I'm sorry, TP. Forgive me. You know you had the hair.
Yeah, he was slick back.
Yeah, he had the Frankie Landon look. That man was cool as hell.
But yeah, man. So that situation with that particular label didn't work out. So I took that project and put it out myself. Me and my cousin, Hot Rod. So we put that out, and man, like, nice little impact. Wasn't expecting that.
What year you put it out?
04. Yeah, it was like right after my daughter was born. So like, yeah, 03, 04. Put it out through Selecto Hits.
Good old Selecto.
Yeah, man. Shout out to them, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. It was how I ended up meeting the majority of the music artists that I know. Built some really good relationships with like some of the people at Selecto Hits. R.I.P. Wes Phillips, a good friend of mine. Like we worked on like Gangsta Boo, Lil Chat Project. Worked with Frazier Boy, Lil White. I went on tour with Lil White and Jelly Roll. I started doing video.
Jelly Roll, yeah.
Jelly Roll is like blown up, super big country singer now.
Is he from the Ville, right?
Yeah, he from Nashville.
Yeah.
But yeah, I filmed, like started doing film and stuff like that. That's why I started getting into other aspects of the business. One of my mentors in the game, he was like, who do you see getting paid out here? I was like,
Did something go on? My bad. Keep going, my bad. Keep going, Vic. I mean, Black.
Like he was saying like, who do you see getting paid out here? I was like, well, I see the DJ getting paid. Lights, people doing the lights and the film and the camera guys and stuff like that.
Right.
He said, do you know who's not getting paid? The artist. I was like, ooh. So that's what got me into wanting to be a DJ, getting me into like doing video and stuff like that as well. So
It went on. Okay. Yeah, you keep going though.
Yeah. So yeah, man, just I had some really good mentors. A lot of people that just, you know, that's one of the things I was really thankful for, is I had a lot of people that like gravitated towards me, wanted to give me some game, because they saw something else in me. You know what I'm saying? So Devin Steele was one of the people that was like, I was at the studio, K97, and I was doing some kind of freestyle or something that he wanted to do. And he was like, you know what? He was like, I love your voice and I love your music. He's like, but man, you sound like a DJ, dude. Like, you could do this. I had never touched turntables or nothing like that at that time. But he was one of the ones that was like, I think there's an avenue for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many different people and so many of these stories. Like, my first time engineering a music session was at Bootsy Collins' house with the Gospel Gangsters.
Bootsy Collins.
Bootsy. I told my brother I was gonna do a podcast called "Is Black Lying?" Because I got all these like super great stories of people that I'd be like, yeah, I was with such and such, and they'd be like, nigga, you lying. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Chili Baby was in the booth, and Bootsy was like, well, you know I'm better than me. Come over here. And Bootsy was like, okay, this how you do the volume on the board and stuff like that. And Bootsy he said, all right, tell him what to do. So I'm like, Bootsy got me engineering the session at his house. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Man, like I said, it's just, I had so many great interactions with some great people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, now we've talked about this a lot. And shout out to my guy, Mr. Dale.
Yeah.
But
I just saw Dale.
When he first was thinking about making a transition, like he actually came to you all first.
He did. We had the studio down on Poplar. What was
the old PowerTel building?
Yes, sir. I don't know what they got in there now. I think it's
it's still in the same spot, but
it's a radio studio.
It's not PowerTel no more.
Yeah, but we had like a studio down there.
Around what time is this?
Like 99?
Since 99, yeah.
Yeah, around 99, 2000.
Yeah. So this is him probably coming off of 3-6.
Yeah, this is straight off of A&T.
Straight off of Ass and Titty.
Yeah, Ass and Titty still playing.
It's still out.
And they came, got in contact with y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
And shout out to Mike Arnold, man.
Mm-hmm.
Pastor Mike.
Mike, yeah.
He was our manager at the time. And man, he prayed with him. He said when he was ready to do it, and he did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I just saw Dale at Gangsta Boo's memorial.
Right.
Probably about 2 months back or whatever. So man, shout out to him. Like I said, just so many different interactions that I had with a lot of good people, man.
That's
a lot
crazy,
of good people.
Bro. Like when I look at stuff like that, like we was riding in the car the other day with the family, and we listening to some old Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to her first two. We listened to like her first two albums or whatever.
Yeah.
Bro, like those are gospel albums, but they are generated as R&B.
Yeah.
And I was telling the wifey that Vision of Love, Emotional, Can't Let Go, like so many songs, like she pimped the game so hard in her first few albums to where if you really listen to it, you look at the lyrics, she talking about God in there, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when you look at people like that, BB and CC, I grew up thinking BB and CC were R&B.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they, their sound, their cadence, you know what I'm saying, how they did it. And so, and I think the gospel rap was like a total different game to where I think you maybe separated it instead of strategically looking at it kind of how they did it to infiltrate the world. Like give them, you know what I'm saying? Give them that God, give them them principles. But you ain't necessarily like gospel gangsters said. They would never say gospel gangsters.
Right.
But give them that still wasn't no cursing, wasn't no explicit stuff going on.
Like I said, because if you listen to Tears of a Black Man, which was a gospel gangster song, like that could have been any rap group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or like that intro that we was doing,
the
solo joint, like, because they was basically, I want to say it was called like My Testimony, I think.
Yeah.
But it was like, that because they were talking about where they came from. And if you listen to that, it just sound like three niggas from the hood that's just like, I'm sick of living the way I'm living. Like, what's my way out?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and all three of the verses on there, like, killing. But you know what I'm saying? But like to his point, if it wasn't gospel, you wouldn't even know. You'd be like, man, who is that? Like, man, them California niggas is spitting. Like, they,
Yeah.
But the thing is, to me, is you hate to, just the kind of way the world and journalism and the media is now. Like you got to come out like that.
Yeah.
Because if you come out as this gospel, you know what I'm saying, Christian rapper, as like Lecrae. You know what I'm saying? Then he kind of wanted to switch a little bit, but like, nah, you already laid this foundation as a gospel rapper. Yeah. And so you can't kind of switch midstream, and so you're not going to be accepted because they're always going to look at you as a Christian rapper. Right. No matter how you want to switch it or flip it or look at it. But like Mariah Carey, that shit came out like that.
Yeah. And like Mariah never really did anything super crazy music-wise. Like she and that's like stuff like that is what teaches me the importance of branding. Like how you brand, how you present yourself initially, that's what people are looking for. Like if you come out selling cornflakes, they do not want you selling pancakes in a minute. Like they gonna come to you for the cornflakes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just how you brand yourself. Like I feel for Lecrae because it's like he's such a talented artist. I feel like he could do anything he want to, but he's in this brand. And if you try to do something else, then they're gonna be like,
Well, I mean, and the thing is, I feel like he got to a certain point, and I'm not gonna speak for him, but I feel like maybe he feel like I got as far as I could get at this point, and I need to. But like, what got the respect was the 116, the Undershirt, like, cause you had people that was. Grew up in the church, but was out here doing whatever, but was like, man, hey, we respect that.
Right.
You got Bun B coming to you telling you, like, hey, man, I like what you doing. Yeah. You know, you got Cat, but it's like, oh, okay, well, I need to go a little bit further. And sometimes, and I said this when Fro was on here, a lot of these gospel rappers here, like, y'all want to be, you'll never, if you're going to be gospel, you're not going to be Drake.
Message.
Right.
It's just not. Everybody's not going to like that.
Are you going to listen to Drake? Go listen to Drake.
You're right. That's what I'm saying. But you got to understand, everybody ain't going to want to hear when they know what I'm selling. It's going to be some people, even though they may know I need that medicine. Right. They're going to be like, no, I'm straight. Oh, you selling medicine? No, I'm straight. Yeah. But you got to be content with, I may only have 100,000 people listening to me. Right. But then you need to be like the Too Short of that 100,000. You need to be like, hey, well, you know what?
Max that
I'm finna be on that 100,000.
Right.
Because if you try to go get that, then now the 100,000 you had, they ain't gonna all the way rock with you because they're gonna be like, you sold out.
Yeah.
But then the people you're trying to get is gonna be like, oh, you're cool, but you're not quite. Because if I want to listen to Drake or Pusha or J. Cole or Kendrick or 21 or whoever, I go listen to. You're like 21 like. Yeah. You can rap, but I'd rather go listen to Future.
Right.
You know, you good, but I like 2 Chainz.
Oh, he's like the Christian Drake.
Right. It's like you could a little bit too positive.
But you can go listen to Drake.
You see what I'm saying? So you might as well either go all in. And the thing with being on that side, if you're gonna be on that side, it's an authenticity that comes with that.
Right.
So they're gonna know. Oh, you go home to your wife and you know you're conservative and you do all of this. You good. No, they want you out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Talking about shooting niggas and fucking bitches or whatever else is on that plan. Or I'm a lover man and I'm trying to romance all these different ladies or whatever. They don't want that.
Yeah.
So either you got to be all the way on one side or all the way on the other side. If you try to play the middle, it's not gonna work.
It's gonna crash.
Yeah. Let's switch up a little bit here because we had a little conversation before the cameras came on.
Yeah.
And, I thought that was pretty interesting. Now we kind of
the single life of brother.
We kind of 2-on-2 here because me and Vic, you know what I'm saying, we in the.
Oh, Vic, man. No, I'm just playing.
Don't get that boy.
No, Vic has spoken from now. Vic has spoken from like the newlywed perspective a couple of times.
Yeah. But, you know what I'm saying?
He ain't shutting under that hot popcorn, though.
You
You got a whole bag of hot popcorn over there, bro.
He thought he said something to look at.
Vic almost threw that.
Vic about to get up.
They got a whole bag of that Cheetos and Chester hot puffs right here. Sharing. They ain't offer nobody nothing.
But given all your experiences, Black here, you are still single, correct?
I am.
Single.
That's correct.
Ready to mingle?
For sure, though.
Okay.
For sure, though. Yeah.
So you single? Single, ready to mingle. Now, what? Now, this was probably a couple weeks ago. I remember. I don't know if I sent this to you or not. Lala was on the Breakfast Club, and she said something about marriage or something. She was like, "Well, most people, that she noticed married is, they're unhappy and da 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 da. So like people their goal is not to get married anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Black, like what is your perspective out there being in the game, being out there 40 plus? Like, is the goal to be married, or you just like I'm just out here parlaying? You know what
I mean, I guess everybody's experiences are different. Like, I was also a single father, so I raised a daughter by myself. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, at this point, I have a grown child.
Is she 20? She over 20?
20, and I'm a granddad. Like I got
right.
a grandson.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like
that can out rap any other granddad.
That's my guy. He would be on the turntables. He'd be
word.
Like, yeah. But so for me, it's like, what do you get married for? I think you get married to have a family, settle down.
That's a piece of it. You know, like I said, depends on the season of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So at this season in my life, I'm like, I'm free, nigga. I'm finna run. You know what I'm saying? Like, my child's grown. I can kind of get out. I'm DJing. Like, I do functions. I shoot videos, stuff like that. So, like, I'm at a point to where the things that you would normally, I guess, be involved in to be in a marriage, I'm cool on all of that. I've experienced having a child, running around the house and raising a child and all that good stuff.
I agree with that.
Cool on that.
Yeah, for sure. I feel you on that.
So the freedom that I'm experiencing right now,
you don't want to get that up.
Yeah, I'm cool right now. Unless like it had to be God tap me on the head and sprinkle the dust and say, "This is her, my child."
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
because sometimes you might have to go over to overseas.
Hey.
He talking about these Australian.
No. He know what I'm talking about. He know what I'm talking about.
Calm down.
Yeah, we just calm down, young son.
Calm down, son.
So is that how you feel, or is that like what you looking like? What's out in the pool out there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as what we see, modern women and stuff of that nature. Like, as far as what they value, what they bring to the table.
Yeah, so it's so much going on right now. It's the perception of what a man is supposed to be right now is so weird. What you're supposed to be bringing to the table as a man right now is you're supposed to be a rapper and a poet and a gangster, but you
and
love
a hustler.
God, but you can shoot somebody if you need to. Like, it's just so much.
Right.
Like,
and you respect women.
Yeah. It's just and I can't say that about, I'm not generalizing all women.
Right.
But it's just the portrayal that's being put out there right now is it makes it difficult to date, because it's like if you're not pulling up in the new Audi Super Sport whatever, and you ain't got $1 million hanging out your pocket and tight chains around your neck, you know what I'm saying?
Talking on the money phone.
Yeah, you got to have all diamonds across your neck. Like, it's just
you can't roll up looking like Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, like, where are the regular guys being portrayed in media? Where are the I don't see it. Like, what they're putting out there, this is a person, ladies, that you should be looking at, that's not being portrayed in media. So a lot of times people's perspective.
Because on the one hand, it's like everything that's thrown in your face is everything. Like, if that's you as a guy, like, that's what they label as toxic.
Yeah.
If you get to fighting with your woman,
right,
you know what I'm saying, and you're a regular dude,
right,
you be in jail.
Right.
If you're a certain rapper with a certain TV show on the Zeus
Network, whooping each other,
you got a TV
week.
show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, if it's me, I'm in jail.
Yeah.
And people are telling their daughter, stay away from that nigga.
Yeah.
But again, if I'm this particular guy, I get a TV show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, that's,
but like, toxic love is being put out into the media right now. Like, that's supposed,
like, those are goals.
Yeah,
right.
We gonna hold on to each other like they are. Nah.
Right.
One of y'all gonna be in jail for a long, long time.
Right.
That movie does not end well
at all.
Nah. Like
somebody's getting shot in that movie.
It's a different game. Like I got a couple of my single homies, and I tell them like it's different.
What do you tell me, JB?
Huh?
What do you tell me, JB?
It's a different game out there now. Yeah. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm 10 years in, so it's like.
Congratulations to that man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
okay.
Salute to the wifey on that.
Salute.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He was in the wedding. Okay. So it's a different game now, like the standards, but I do believe it is some women probably that you probably would want, but it's like it depends, I guess maybe the circles that you in.
They want you to email them.
Yeah. They want you to be
you can email me.
I'm like, what? And just so we're being fair to the ladies, the perception of what women are supposed to be and being portrayed is totally different. Like if you go on Instagram or Twitter, what's being presented to you,
that you got to be in order to get a man out here is not. It's not fair.
Yeah.
We're not all necessarily. I mean, it's fun to look at, but that doesn't mean that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I definitely don't want, like, if somebody I'm trying to date or whatever, I don't want them to be look half naked every time they jump on
have
Instagram.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, like,
right.
Like that's not what I'm looking for.
Right. Yeah.
So, but again, a lot of times, regular women, don't feel, well, they feel like they're in competition with these women because she got 5,000 likes and regular girl got 98. You know what I'm saying? 34.
Yeah,
34 likes.
Because I know a lot of regular people. I be seeing 34 likes. I'm number 35.
Yeah. So they feel insecure if they don't look like 5,000, 10,000 likes girl. You know what I mean? So it's just a crazy time to be pursuing at this point. You know what I mean? So
So, but you say everything right. Obviously, you know everything in the moment is right because you have when you first get into a situation like everybody's wanting to present their best selves and do what they do.
Right.
So you got your honeymoon period. Kind of in the beginning, depending on what it is, maybe 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then the real you come out.
Yeah.
And then you what I'm saying? So it's a process. I get it.
They unleash the beast.
Exactly. Everything. You know what I'm saying? First, they ain't really falling around you.
Yeah.
They holding everything in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then after 2 years, you be like,
that you just
did this come out of you? Like what's
Or even worse. What's that movie she got out the toilet and immediately got in the bed? He was like, no way you come in here guns hot. Right. Not cool. Like, don't come in guns hot. Remember that, ladies. Hop in the shower first.
But it's a different world though, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What's that movie? It's the one Ryan Reynolds and homeboy they played in Arrested Development, Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be friends and they minds had switched. Yeah. And so Ryan Reynolds was in Jason Bateman's mind. And so he thought he was finna get something. He's like, oh, snap. She went to the bathroom and then all of a sudden you hear, he looks, she on the toilet. He's like, oh. So he up under the covers like this. And so, the change up. Right. Okay. So she didn't, she white, but she didn't hop in the shower. And then so she got in the bed and she tried to toot it up on him. He's like, how dare you come in here guns hot.
I'm sorry, JB.
No. Nah, you good.
It throw me.
Nah, that's what he do. You know what I'm saying?
What? Hey, I ain't gonna call out Crown or JB because y'all may or may not know about guns hot conversation. No, my thing, we was talking about this because you mentioned that when we had Dr. Harris on here. Shout out to Reggie Harris.
Yeah, man.
But I said the same thing when we was in our church connect group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can be miserable if I want to be miserable.
Yeah.
I can be miserable by myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I work a thankless job. You know what I'm saying? When I get off and I go home, my house is my place of peace.
Yeah.
I can kick my feet up, smoke me a cigar, pour me a drink, put on Hulu. BMF, which is a good show, by the way.
Yeah,
y'all know, I'm going to put you on some good shows. Power's about to come back out. Snowfall coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Will Trent is actually a good show. Y'all need to check it out if you like.
Who's that?
Will Trent. It's like a detective kind of police procedural show.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need to check this. It's actually pretty good.
Godfather Harlem.
Godfather Harlem is dope. That season 3 is.
That's my show.
You know what I'm saying? So I can, and I'm straight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the only women that I care about bothering me at this point in my life is my mama and my teenager.
So do you think
you know what I'm saying? The baby ain't old enough to bother me yet. So if they can, that ain't even bother. That's okay, Mom. I got you. I'll do this. Or Charity called me, Daddy. Can I have? I'm like, ain't you at work right now? You calling me from a job where you get tips at to ask me for money? Okay, but fine.
Yeah.
But anything other than that, why would I give that up? And I done been working my ass off, and I got to come home and get an attitude about something. I don't even know what I did.
Right.
I don't even know what I did.
But you know what's gonna happen though.
No, I don't care.
So you saying that shouldn't happen at all?
At all, because we don't get to do that.
And okay,
you don't get to. Hey, you know this from being a married man. You do not get to be at the house, and your wife come home, and you just got an attitude with her, and you stone face, mean mug, cold shoulder her. That ain't finna fly, and you know that.
No, it ain't gonna fly.
That's what I'm saying. So then, how come it works the other way?
My problem is I think we've all had female friends,
right?
So I think they kind of give you the game as far as how women act, why they act the way that they act, stuff like that. So it's like, if you already know that you don't have to act like this,
yeah,
then it just kind of throws the game off. Because it's like, you don't have to be like that. Because I got female friends that don't act like that. Don't act like you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know, bro. It's a tangled web.
It's a lot of layers to it.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of layers to it.
It's definitely a lot of layers.
And it's a lot of stuff we was talking about on off camera that we can't talk about on camera.
Amen.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That'll be for another time.
Right. The ThePrezEx After Dark. DJ Black. You're listening to the Quiet Storm.
It's
with Crown Vic on the ones and twos. We've got a lady coming up next. She's got a banana. What is she gonna do with it? Stay tuned.
Oh no!
Not a banana.
Vic, I need you to cut all of that right now.
I thought you were gonna say a credit card.
No. Hey, man, you know what? I saw somebody do that once. It was a dude singing, and he was like, he had asked a chick to come out from the crowd, and he was like throwing the money, and he's like, and I ran out of money I had to pull out my credit card. They had to swipe that thing. Swipe that thing.
Nah, that was on BET After Dark. Like,
oh, wow.
You know the old Nelly.
Hey, man. You remember that song, What That Thing Smell Like? They used to come on BET after BET Uncut. I'm going to pull it up. Hey, that video was hilarious. That video was hilarious. Because, like, the dude rapping, you would have looked like, what is this nigga doing? Is that my deacon? Like, he didn't look like he was supposed to be rapping.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was always on BET Uncut. I want to kick it tonight. So, baby, tell me what that thing smell like. Y'all got to look it up. Yeah. If y'all want a good laugh,
I used to watch it.
That was on BET. I promise you that was on BET.
I remember Tip Drill, but
Tip Drill was on there.
Yeah.
But no, that because they would always play.
You had to be up at 3 a.m. to see that one.
Yeah,
they would always play like something.
I was asleep by that point.
I used to work at FedEx.
I stayed up.
So when I get out from FedEx, I would come home. You eating something real quick, and you watching TV, and you cut it on BET, and that's. So Tip Drill, when that goes off, and then I'm gonna tell you, this is the crazy thing. The name of the group. How about the name of the group that had this song out was called Black Jesus?
Bruh.
I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up.
Wow.
And you see, I said that was. I cannot make this up. That was their name. The name of the group was Black, and the name of the song was called "What That Thing Smell Like."
And they did.
But I couldn't even take the video serious because it was so funny.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. So that's wild. All right, before we end this, man, like of all the people that you've name dropped, some people name drop here, like what is your greatest experience musically that you've been around, or story, or some like studio, whatever that you've probably been around that you can say?
Wow, that I can say.
Right.
Wow.
Because I know you say you ghostwriters for some people that you won't kind of put in there, put out there. do you have anything that you work with Gangsta Boo with, or
I
studio wise, or anything like that?
I shot a video. Me and my guy Wes Phillips. Like I said, R.I.P. to him. They brought Mia X down from No Limit.
That's my girl right there.
And
Cold.
she did a verse for them, and we shot the video, and I actually got a little cameo in the video with Mia. But that was at the time that 3-6 Mafia were they getting ready to do their tour, and Lord Infamous had just died. So all that happened within, I want to say, 3 weeks.
Quick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on stage with them on the tour. They started the tour in Memphis at the New Daisy, and so yeah, that was probably like out of all the people that I met, like Mia X was so cool, like just super cool. So we sitting down. Okay, this is the story. We sitting down eating. We went to some restaurant, and she said, "Yeah, my baby Brad called me." I'm like, "Brad?"
She's talking about Scarface.
Yeah, I'm like Brad, like.
Now you know his
Brad?
name.
Yeah, because I'm Scarface is like one of the ones for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like Scarface Brad? It's like, yeah, like, yeah, that's my. She said, okay, and FaceTime Scarface.
Wow, why you right there?
While I'm right there, and I'm like, hey, like I'm.
Right.
Yeah, like
wow.
Like I said, it's just, man.
That's crazy.
It's so many experiences that I couldn't even just name. You know what I'm saying? But that was just one of the coolest ones, because I wasn't expecting her to be so down to earth, so cool, so laid back. Yeah. So but that's one you can go pull on YouTube.
Yeah. Right. So I was gonna say mine with him is, and it's two. The first one, if you don't remember, when y'all got to open up for the Gangsters, y'all let us actually do one song before y'all.
Right.
Which is I Bet You Got It Twisted.
Yeah.
They let Genesis do. And so that was actually how I met Solo, because every time, and I would tell you, every time I see Solo, he'd be like, "Oh, you Black's homeboy." And I was good.
Yeah.
So, but just the fact that we wouldn't even got to open up if it wasn't for them saying we want our guys to go on before us.
Yeah.
But when Marion had passed, Soul Factory.
Yeah.
So we didn't know what happened. I don't remember if it was Rock that got the call. Or
Rock. I think it was Rock.
Somebody got the call. Y'all were on stage.
Yeah.
Y'all were on stage.
Because Rock came and whispered in my ear.
Right.
And was like, man, Marion just got killed.
So they're leaving, and I don't know if you told Mike or you told somebody, you was like, hey, let them go on.
Yeah.
And you, the way you was looking, I asked you, he's like, Shay, it ain't good. I can't talk right now.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. Mario and Woody, man.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but like, you let us, the fact that like, cause we had like a whole nother hour left of that night.
Yeah.
And they were closing the night out. Yeah. But the fact that they, you know what I'm saying? He was like, hey, y'all get up there and get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you trusted me enough to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't had but 4 songs. So we did. We went through off, and there was a lot of talking in between. But just the fact that, like, even and that was your boy, but like that was my, because he was one of the ones. Marion one of the ones told me, and I've said that on here before. Like, hey man, you need to do this, man. You good. And so the fact that he was like, hey, we finna go see about that. We need you to take care of that.
Yeah.
So like, that's the type of dude he is. You know what I'm saying? He know he got it.
Yeah.
But it'd be some times where other cats would be rapping or they freestyling, and he'll be like, man, you know what? I ain't even gonna rap. Shay, get him.
Yeah.
Like, he's always,
yeah.
And when I was whack as hell, he would tell me. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't one of these new generation, baby. You say I'm whack, you hurt my feelings. Like, that verse too long, cut it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, he's just always been that
well,
type
I'm
of solid
like, I'm
dude.
so, it was so good to see your growth. Like, again, remembering where everybody, because we felt like we were, and so we started hearing these young cats talking about they wanted to rap, and we like, come to the studio, right. You know what I'm saying, right, and to see where everybody moved to, and to see the growth, and to know, that we helped to inspire some of that. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Is a blessing for us, because it's like, a lot of times people get a bad rap. Mm-hmm. Like, well, man, he was such and such, he was this, but to hear people come back and be like, man, you really, you was one of the ones that, like, I feel like you a mentor to me. Like, you was one of the ones that helped me really get to where I'm at. Like, that blesses my soul, bro. Like, that's a blessing to me,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as an MC, like, that's who I was always chasing. Right. As much as I love Corey Red, you hear me talk about Corey Red, as much as I love Royce the 5'9", like, I was always chasing Black. Yeah. Like if he can give me a cosign, like, nigga.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. See, bro, like, listening to stuff like this is always the people that you necessarily you don't hear about, that's not in the forefront. Yeah. That's always, you know what I'm saying? You see the person out there, but really it was somebody like Black or somebody like that that really started the seed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you deserve your flowers.
Man, bro. That nigga been a problem. There, go back and listen to like all the way back, nigga, 94, nigga, Incredible. Like, that nigga was a problem on Incredible. You don't see what I see. Bruh. And death is gonna hit you. 66 books, won't you take a look? Like, hey, that nigga was a problem on You Don't See What I See. Wow. That nigga was a problem on Black Rain. That nigga was a problem on Heartless. You know what I'm saying? That nigga was a problem on The Day Before Funky. I mean, I could go. I'm not even finna go through this nigga. Like, that nigga been like, I had some of the joints you did with Camp 8. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That Bo let me get. And I got like about 4 or 5 of them joints. Like, that nigga was a problem.
I need them.
That nigga was a problem.
Yeah. I talked to Nova a couple days ago. I told you he hit me up a few times. And I told him we're going to have Black on. He's like, oh, man, that junk going to be a dope episode. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew, you know what I'm saying, you and, background.
Yeah, that's my guy. Yeah, for sure.
So Nova be watching a lot. He be hitting me up, bro, like, y'all be doing your thing. So salute to Nova on that, man. Yeah. Salute. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, this was dope, dog. This was dope,
man.
Thanks y'all for having me.
Man, we're going to have to have you come back, because we didn't even get to get into your podcast space.
Right.
And I know, again, tell everybody again, like, where they can find, the 3 The Hard Way podcast.
3thehardwaypodcast.com. Check us out on there. We're getting ready to open up. Salute to my homeboy Trey. Getting ready to open up like a selfie museum, so people in Oakland or surrounding areas can come. It's called Spot Block Selfie Museum. Okay. So check that out on Facebook, man. We're getting ready to pop that open, and man, just you got a podcast space in there. Getting ready to bring some new faces in. Okay. Get some other people started in that lane, in that vein. So,
man, we definitely got to have you back, man. Cause we got to talk about, like, man, our GOAT tier list of MCs, because we talk about it.
Yeah, we do.
You know what I'm saying? But we do need somebody.
We need somebody like Black or somebody in there. Somebody in that vein.
He's also a Cowboy fan, so I know y'all can have that.
This is why he's so articulate. You know, it's no coincidence.
Yeah. But so, man, it's so much more we can get into with you, man. And
for sure.
Well, I appreciate y'all having me on, bro.
It's our honor and privilege, man.
It is, dog. Y'all. But until next time, continue with an executive mindset.
Most definitely keep it presidential.
Salute.
Arrivederci. Out.